This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
'24 Commission on Disability meeting. The first thing we're going to do is just roll call. So online, and you're here. Is this phone number 978? Is that Leslie?
Yes, it is.
I think so.
Hey there.
Well, I can hear you. I can't see anything, but I can hear you.
Were you hoping to see us
Well,
through your
it
phone?
would sort of be nice to put a face with voice, but that's okay. I can just listen.
You might have clicked on the wrong link that only allows you to dial it as opposed to see in through your video on your phone.
Well, I did the one on the agenda first, the 316-537-0330. And I just was getting the beep, 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 like the signals busy, dial tone. So I decided to come in this way. But
Did you-
that's all right.
Just click with Google Meet.
Yeah, there's a Google Meet link. Did you try the Google Meet link? The meet.google.com.
Yes, that's where I am right now. And for a new meet, so video calls and meetings for everyone, I'm right on there. So now, am I going to put in that link number, the 4275738?
No, so I'm sorry. So you have the app open currently, am I correct?
I have my laptop open. I have Google Meet.
Yes,
It's
so-
on my.
So if you have your
Okay.
laptop open, if you go the full address at meet.google.com / that WOR-OGNS-ZVV, that full link that should let you in.
GGB. Oh, ZVV?
Yes, that full link. I can send you the email here if that's easier.
Yes, please.
This email,
LSHARR at Gmail.
LSHRR at Gmail.
LSHARR at Gmail.
LSHARR at Gmail.
.com.
Okay, I just sent you that meeting link. You should receive that in your email.
So I'm Jeff Brown. We're missing Bryce.
Yes, we are missing Bryce today. Yeah, I have Bobby here. I have Barbara, who's over there, and in the middle you'll see Tatiana, who is joining and visiting and seeing what it's about for the first time. Yeah. So and my audio, the network connection here is bad, so I might end up joining separately on my phone, so at least we'll be able to hear. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Leslie, are you here for public speak or just to like witness the?
I'm just here to.
You still have your
Wait a
phone
minute.
open.
Leslie, I'm going to go ahead and remove the phone option.
I'm just here to observe.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, so the only person we're missing is Bryce, right? And then Nancy hasn't been here in forever, so I
Right.
don't think that she's gonna be staying on it. Okay, and no one here for public speak. Well, then we're gonna go right into our speaker. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Leslie Tane. I am the communications manager at Pathlight. And so I was going to give just a kind of short presentation on Pathlight and the services that we provide to the disability community. And yeah,
Perfect.
so starting the slideshow. Perfect. So Pathlight is like the umbrella organization, and we have a number of programs that we run underneath it. So I thought I would just go over kind of everything that we provide and then talk a little more in depth about the public facing programs that we have, because some of the programs we have, you have to be referred by DMH or DDS. So, ready? Our mission is that Pathlight partners with people with disabilities to create opportunities and build relationships throughout their lives. So we do have services for people from before birth all the way up through old age. And the vision that Pathlight has is we want to live in a world where people with intellectual disabilities, developmental disabilities, and or autism are recognized for their full potential human potential, where they are empowered to build an engaged and connected life made up of the people and activities that they choose and that are meaningful to them. We achieve this vision through a shared commitment to a well-trained and supported workforce, and by focusing on the wishes and dreams of the people we serve. We offer a broad range of services tailored to people with intellectual disabilities, developmental disabilities, autism, and their families. These include, but are not limited to, residential programs, performing arts, sex and relationship education, recreation and enrichment activities, behavioral supports, and medical care. We also provide support and resources for families so that they can be the best advocates for their family members. So these are the programs that Pathlight has. Adult family care, which is a Medicaid Mass Health funded program. And adult family care allows families or people to have an adult with a disability live in the home with them. And from Pathlight, they receive a stipend of up to $20,000 a year, and support, like a healthcare worker will come to the house once a month, and then you have this access to supports. So AFC is something that anyone can enroll in as long as you meet the requirements. Residential supports, we have a number of homes across Western Massachusetts. Pathlight only serves Western Mass, so we serve the 4 counties of Hampshire, Hampden, Franklin, and Berkshire County. And at our homes, people live there full time, and they are allowed, not allowed, but encouraged to go into the community and do things in the community. And then homes are staffed 24/7, and we have some higher needs medical homes, and some are not necessary for that, but people live there. The Down Syndrome Resource Group of Western Mass is a fully, I have a sheet for you if you want. Let's put this on it. I have one for everybody. Is a fully volunteer organization that aims to provide support and resources for families who are supporting someone who has Down syndrome. Shared living is similar to AFC, but AFC, adult family care, is really for people who you're related to who live in your home, basically. And shared living is more of like a foster care where you can invite someone with a disability to live in your home with you, and you help, take care of them, help them with their needs, help them to have a rich life. And you receive a financial stipend for that. Milestones Day is our day program funded by DDS for individuals 18 and older, and that is in Northampton. And that is in the office where I work. And so Milestones Day goes on while I'm at work. And so I have the opportunity to get to know a lot of the individuals in that program, which has been really great, and which is really what kind of led me to my interest in working for disability rights in the disability community. Whole Selves is our educational program, which provides relationship and sexual advice and curriculum for people with disabilities primarily, but it's really for anybody. Family Empowerment is like an advisory program. So if a family has a member who has a disability in it, Family Empowerment will provide you with resources, state and local resources, and help you get hooked into the things that are available to a family who is supporting somebody with a disability. So things that Family Empowerment offers, because Family Empowerment is a front-facing, public-facing program. Informations and referrals, service navigation. It can be very difficult to navigate all the services that people with disabilities have access to and need. Family trainings, family networking opportunities, community connections, and a family resources and library, actual physical books and stuff. Autism Connections is another forward-facing program. So anyone can refer themselves to Autism Connections, serving the Hampton, Hampshire, Franklin, and Berkshire County, as well as the North Quabbin area. And the next slide again will say the services that they offer. Support groups, direct care services include Agency with Choice, DESE and DDS programs, and IFFS, IFS. The Autism Waiver Program, educational advocacy, and family and professional trainings. And Whole Children and Milestones, and this is the program that is kind of closest to my heart. My son had been enrolled in Whole Children and Milestones. It is an afternoon and Saturday program, which is a social and recreational program. It's not a therapeutic program at all. It's a place for people, all people of any ability, but primarily people with disabilities, to come and learn new skills, make friends, and have support in a really fun and supportive environment. So Whole Children is the program for kids and teens from ages 3 to 18. And then we offer programs through adulthood, but of course the adults were like, we're not children. We don't want to go to a program called Whole Children. So the name of that program is Milestones, but it's essentially the same programming, just with a different name. It gets quite confusing. We have 4 sessions. We are right now enrolling for our fall session, which starts on October 8th. And the next screen tells you some of our classes. There's David Rondo. If he was here, he usually comes from Riverside, but he's the teddy bear in the theater production. So that was our theater production this spring. It was a mashup of Barbie and Little Shop of Horrors. And the kind of classes we offer are theater, joyful chorus, which is open to anybody, art, dance, cooking, Dungeons and Dragons, Minecraft, Kung Fu, men's group, Legos and Trains, lawn games, boundaries and relationships, and jam band. And there are other classes besides that. That's just kind of a sampling. But they're about an hour long, they're weekly, and they cost, you buy a membership for the session. The session costs about $175, and what your membership includes are 2 in-person classes and unlimited online classes. So you can get it to be where each class ends up costing about $5 if you take advantage of all of the opportunities for classes. We do also have scholarship programs. So we really aim to provide this opportunity to as many people as would like to take advantage of it. And so I think, what's on the next?
Just curious.
Yeah.
Why there was a men's group and a women's group,
So
non-binary people, you know, all those questions.
that is an excellent question that we have. It's kind of a demand, supply and demand thing. There used to be a men's group and a women's group, and people who are non-binary were invited to go to whichever one they felt like they aligned with. If we had people who wanted a strictly non-binary group, we of course would provide that. We haven't had anyone ask for that. So, you know, do we offer the class and hope that people sign up for it? But you know, it's one of those things. We're totally open to having a non-binary group.
And what about women's group?
We had a women's group, and then the enrollment dropped. We would love to have all of these groups back again. It's one of those chicken and egg things, you know. If people ask for it and will sign up for it, we definitely would be able to have it. This is an event that is open to the public that is happening in October.
Window open.
Tango is coming to play with our friendship band. The friendship band is a Milestones and Whole Children musical group. They just played in Performance 34 that was in Le Parc. It used to be called Trans Performance, and this year they changed it to Performance. It's a musical event that they have. So the friendship group is made up of Whole Children's Milestones individuals and some teachers, and they play mostly original songs. And they're playing with Yola Tango. So Yola Tango is going to do some of their music separate. Friendship Band is going to do some of their music separate, and then they're going to partner together to do a little concert at Northampton Center of the Arts on October 23rd. And everyone is more than welcome to come and have a good time. There will be food and drinks and a silent auction, a chance to do a little dancing, do a little celebrating. That is coming up. And then on the last screen, the last 2 screens, I just put contact information because I was hoping I'll send this to everybody afterwards. You can have this. It has the contact information. Pathlight's main offices are in Springfield, so that's why I wrote Springfield. And then Family Empowerment, Autism Connections, and Milestones and Whole Children Milestones are all in Northampton in Village Hill. So,
So not in Hadley then.
we moved from Hadley. We used to be in Hadley, and we moved the summer of 22. So, we have a beautiful building. We're right next to ServiceNet. You know where ServiceNet is. We have a beautiful building and lovely facilities, and you know, we really aim to serve the disability community. So I'm the communications manager, and if you have ideas for things that you would like to see, or things that you would be interested in maybe one of our programs supporting, you can always contact me, and I can pass you to the correct person to talk to. But, you know, our whole focus and mission is that people with disabilities should be included in society in every way, not made different or other. but part of the fabric of society and have rich and full lives that they choose for themselves and want to enjoy. So I did bring flyers for everybody. On one side, it has the programs and services that I described, and on the other side is just a flyer for the bash that we're having. And I'll send you a link to the, thank you, to the slideshow that has the links to the programs. Just as a personal aside, I designed the websites for Family Empower, I mean, not Family, for Autism Connections, Pathlight, and Whole Children. Those have been my babies for the past 3 months or so. Thank you. So if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them, or we can move on.
Are you
Yep.
asking for questions?
Yep.
So pretty much everything but the day program, people can just sign up for without a referral and regardless of agency affiliation, correct?
Not the day program, and also not the residential services.
Okay.
But yes,
Okay.
the other things.
But anybody else, if they're, regardless of who provides their day services or residential supports, they're welcome to just come in and pay the fee or apply for a scholarship and join a class if they're interested.
Absolutely.
Correct? Okay, great.
You did great. Thank you. So straightforward. Love it. Are there other questions? All right, we're gonna transition to the next part of the meeting. So as far as the accessibility ordinance, City Councilor Gomez was unable to make it again today. And last time he said he was gonna send City Councilor Zaret. But he said he can't come during the day at all. So he asked about meeting with me for a Zoom call to update me like one of these evenings. So I'm gonna see if you're available whenever this is, because I'm sure it'll be a lot of information. So I need backup.
Okay, I'm usually free in the evening.
Okay. So that's that issue. Stan, are you sure you don't have any current events from the disability scoop?
I really don't have anything new to report on.
Okay. So Leslie, are you thinking about being a member at some point? I scared her. She said, no way. Right out of the meeting. Don't ask me that again.
And she's back.
She needed a minute to think.
I absolutely have no idea if you can hear me.
Yes.
You can.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have been playing with the idea for a while of joining you. I've been dealing with my husband's health right now, and that seems to have evened out so I can devote some time to something else that's serious. And that would be the disability committee. It's been a sort of lifelong interest of mine. I had relatives with MS, and 70 years ago, you didn't have any services for people dealing with that sort of disability. And I've, been seeing it all my life, and I'm sort of aware of it through current friends.
Is there something you're hoping to do while you're on the commission, or?
I would really, really like to see more handicap parking places for people and have it enforced. I get so tired when I go to the Council on Aging. I see people parking, well, especially now that there are two fewer spaces, people are just parking in there and maybe they have a permit, but they're sure as heck not exposing it.
Right.
And you see it everywhere you go. And it's really difficult. My husband has mobility issues. And if I can't park close to a place, anyway, that's one of my main bugaboos, that and our library, which we can do nothing about. And
Were we just talking about spaces, but the mayor said that you don't really hand out a lot of tickets for that?
I was told that there's no parking enforcement person.
Oh,
Meter maid, and therefore,
oh,
in Easthampton.
so then it's interesting.
Yeah, which means that I meant to raise this with you, Stan, because
I guess we don't have meters in Easthampton.
Right.
well, yeah, but
No.
they don't-
Yeah, but I can.
that's
see
one
what
of their
they-
claims to fame. No meters.
no, but also those, I mean, parking enforcement officers,
Right.
and therefore,
I just
Or something like that to make the rounds.
Right.
Alright.
Mm. I just remember her saying we don't make much money off it. Because of that. Stan, do you remember anything about when we were talking to the mayor about the parking and the handicap spots?
I do remember, I had found information in, general laws that said that, that there are fines for parking in, handicap spaces if you don't present a permit on your car. And that the city just raised their fine for parking in the handicap spaces. So I don't understand why they're not enforcing it. The statewide fine can be as high as $500 for repeat offenders. The city fine is currently set at $50. And the Massachusetts general laws say that those particular fines that apply, that are given because of handicap parking violations, can be received by the Commission on Disability to support their work. But the mayor does not believe that should happen and does not want to give us a banking account to put the money into. So we're, sort of not able to do anything about that.
Yep, go ahead.
Hi, I remember the mayor speaking to this, and what she said was she there is an allotment of money for us. They just gave us a flat thing because a flat allotment because it was lower maintenance doing that, and there wasn't enough fine, and the allotment they gave us would have been more than the collective amount of the fines.
That
And
doesn't help the people that can't park in the spot when they need to.
yeah, well, I mean, yes, I mean, but in terms of the money issue, so
Right.
I mean, but I mean, to me, it seems like the issue is that no one is assigned to just look at parking overall, so therefore, handicap parking, just doesn't get looked at either. I mean, it would be easy, it's easy for the Northampton person to, like, when they're looking at all the other meters, to just be like, oh, that person's in a handicap slot. But I'm assuming just, to have a whole separate officer going around exclusively looking at the handicap slots in the city, it doesn't seem like a great use of resources because it's probably not going to happen every day.
Right.
And so it's all relying on people calling in to report it. and a cop coming to see it. But if no one's reporting, and if they're reporting and it's not being enforced, that's a huge issue. But I have a fear, if I had to just guess what's happening, I don't know.
Right.
I'm wondering if we should have somebody, I mean, not on battery right now, but somebody from the police saying, if you see somebody, what do you do?
Right. I can figure that out, how to have that happen. I know what happened to me when my kids went to Maple and they would say call and we'll tow them. And then I felt all guilty. I was like, oh no, I have to see this mom every day. She's gonna shoot me. It was like, because people get really angry at school, like getting their kid in their spaces. They're really angry over there. It's very, very, very scary. Or the police would like take a long time to get there. And then so the came and went. Like there's no real evidence.
I think that Northampton doesn't have
Yeah.
people, it's got automated.
Right.
I personally have never seen an officer walking on Union Street and handing out violations for people who are parking outside of the white lines. They aren't close enough to the curb. That can cause accidents. I have a friend who was clipped that way because she hadn't parked that close. Or there is, as you say, there is no parking enforcement in Easthampton. And yeah, it's extremely frustrating, extremely.
So we're gonna call this new business. It's not on the agenda, but we're gonna add it next month, if that's okay with you. Leslie?
Yes.
Oh yes, so recruiting new members. I feel like we have 3 or 4 spots that are still open. That would be great to have filled. I know 3-4 months ago, I had like 5 people ask me about it, seemed interested, and they faded off. And I wrote to all of them on Facebook, but I didn't really hear back from them. So we'll see.
Here I am.
Yes, we got you. So
I've been turned down because a lot of people aren't free
during the day.
during the day.
I know.
That's been like,
That's so hard. Yeah. Oops. Yeah, because even if I wanted to change it to the day person, we're not going to ask you to come at night more than you already do. That would just be torture.
I'd be stuck at doing it. I'd be totally remote those evenings.
Yeah.
So we need you.
Right.
So bring them circular. Yeah.
So if folks have ideas for recruiting of where to go this summer, we meant to go to the farmers market, but then we all had things we were involved in and we weren't able to make it. But it goes into the fall, right? For a little bit?
For a little bit.
So if anybody feels like they have an hour or two, or they feel like they have the whole day, let me know.
Have the indoor farmers market during the winter.
Yes. Yep. Yes. Or if there's other ideas that you have, let me know. Future speaker ideas. Are there people that you guys want to hear from, or an agency that would help folks in Easthampton? You don't have to say it now. You could message me if you think of someone. Okay. I feel like, do you have any updates for your stuff?
Yes, so speaking of scheduling, right now my schedule is changing for next couple of months here, where I won't be available on Thursdays, where there's going to be some months where it's not going to cause an issue. I will be here on a Thursday where we have meetings.
Okay.
There are going to be others where I'm not here and won't be available to attend these meetings.
Okay.
I mean, you folks are still able to go ahead without somebody from planning if there's no one available, but we'll try to provide somebody. If we have somebody available, And if we have the meetings line up where it's obviously a Thursday, where I will be here, obviously will be attending,
Okay,
just to kind of keep you posted about that.
you'll email me if somebody else is coming or whatever.
Yep, I'll let you know kind of
Okay.
what's happening, as we know.
Anything else though?
Nothing specific updates. If you folks have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Did you get all your zoning board people?
We did, yes. We had, I don't know if anybody applied from over here. I didn't have hear anything from the mayor, for applications, but we had, one of our, associate members moves up to a full member. It's got the big update. So I think there's now going to be an associate member position. So if anybody's still on the fence, I don't, there's still one more spot for associate. So it wouldn't be a full-time commitment. It would be every now and again on a random month. You might be called up saying, hey, we're going to have an absence. If you want to serve,
That's what it is.
you
Okay.
get tapped in to serve. So an associate member, ideally with a ZBA, is typically serving maybe once, maybe twice a year that they'd be asked to step up and serve. So it's a much lower commitment.
What if you serve and you don't know what you're doing? Because you serve so infrequently.
Don't worry about that.
Got
We
it.
give you the brief.
Being real.
It's all typically with something like a ZBA, it's, we have our zoning ordinance typically before a meeting. If somebody's unsure, we'll typically meet with them, kind of explain, here's the zoning ordinance, here's the criteria. As you get an application, you're trying to look at it through this lens of, does this application fit with this rule set? And then you might hear something like, again, specific conditions to a permit, where a neighbor says, hey, I live right next to here. This proposal is calling for, a light. That light's going to shine into my bedroom window. ZBA might say, you can do this, but we're putting a condition on there. No light can shine into that person's window. Something like that is typically. It can be a little confusing, but I'm there to answer any questions, and it's usually you've got the rest of the board support as well to help kind of work collaboratively on it as well. So if somebody's interested, put in the application. We'll have that spot open for associate.
Got it.
Available now. So
Jeff, go ahead.
Any updates on the sidewalks and crosswalks?
I don't have any updates on the sidewalks and crosswalks. That would be engineering and DPW.
Have you heard anything anecdotally about what the time frame is they're looking at?
I have not. Whenever I walk to lunch, I have to walk on that awful layout that they have now. So I'd like to see it come in soon, but that's not something I'm handling personally, and I just haven't.
I know I'm not allowed to speak. May I speak to that issue? Because I was talking with Cindy Terrell yesterday at the Council on Aging. I asked her, when is the landscaping going to be done? Because, we have tree roots exposed and all this. And she heard from the DPW that they expect that everything will be done by the end of October. And then they will be bringing in a professional landscaper to fix the city property with appropriate landscaping. But anyway, she says that was fairly recently, so I heard the end of October.
Is that October this year? Because they have to finish by October 2025. I'm just wondering, it'd be great if Cindy's information is correct, but it's not that hard.
Well, all I can say is what I heard. I know it's October 2025, so,
Yeah.
Perhaps
Sure.
he said October and crossed his finger and omitted the year. I don't know.
Thanks, I just wondered.
Small details.
Big detail. Yeah, Stan.
Have we gotten any additional information from Barb about the grant that the city received to upgrade the Manhattan Rail Trail, and what we can contribute in terms of suggestions for handicap upgrades for the trail, because that was included in the proposal?
No, I didn't ask yet. I can ask.
Okay.
Anybody else? We still have World Disability Day that's coming up December 3rd. I feel like because we only have meetings once a month, it's hard to plan things. Time goes by quickly.
Maybe we could, tie in the request for new members to World Disability Day.
Mm-hmm. Did you say you guys had, it wasn't a dance troupe, what was it? You just put on dance performances.
We have dance class.
What type of dances?
Based on what people's like to do.
Okay.
They do. I can hear it from my desk, and it's like all sorts of music.
Okay. Is there anything under new business that anybody wants to chat about?
You approve the minutes?
We do. Thank you, partner. So the new meeting day is not the new one, the next one is October 10th. Yes, and so the minutes, does anybody find anything that we missed in there? I mean, we write really brief minutes, not the way that we really want to do them, but because we're still looking for somebody who would want to be the secretary and take minutes during the meetings. So did anybody find anything they're missing? Go ahead, Stan.
Not about that, but I have recently found online information about software programs that will take our meeting recordings that are automatically happening and convert them to text. And I wrote to Kirsten about it and never heard back from her, whether we could implement that.
Is
And,
that
one of those.
Point of information, I think.
The closed captions on the transcript is being recorded.
the transcript is?
Yep.
Yeah. So the only problem with that, Stan, is that it's gonna say every tiny little word as opposed to like bullet points. That would be a lot for somebody to read every single word. So.
You also get,
It's AI.
So some of these had multiple formatting options where you could format it the way you needed formatted. I just asked her if she had any information about them or any options for acquiring them for testing and use. And,
Okay.
having special people responsible for manually keeping notes.
the COA, the Council on Aging already uses it. As you said, they exist. I would suggest that you look at a few of them because they're kind of like closed captioning. You get ridiculous things. I mean, they're not very accessible. They need a person. It's like AI instead of a human being doing them.
Got it.
They'd be effective if all of us were virtual on an individual computer, but when you look at the transcript, you're going to see Google Meet as just one person, and it doesn't distinguish who the speaker is. It's all of us. Anything we say just shows up under Google Meet as the speaker, and it
Got it.
doesn't differentiate.
That's when, I mean, when I was secretary there, I took one or two looks and just I used to play the recordings, not the recordings, the
Transcript, yeah.
the video. But yeah.
So can we approve the minutes if you were here last meeting? Is everybody okay with that being approved?
So,
Say aye.
Aye.
Does anybody disagree with the minutes? No, okay, great. So we're gonna vote them in. And then, like I said, the next meeting is October 10th. Please let me know if, again, if you want a future speaker to come. Just to recap, I'm gonna write to Barb. I'm gonna ask her what you told me to ask her. You want an update from engineering and DPW on the, can't even speak.
Sidewalks and crosswalks.
Ta-ding!
Just,
That's why I can't be, look at my handwriting. Is that arthritis?
if you want the recording of this meeting, all that will be on.
Yes.
And it'll be the same person.
Right, I try to throw a little humor in there. I know we're supposed to be professional, but, don't know what that says. Perfect. About the meter maid or like person in charge of, who am I asking? That's like asking the mayor, I guess, right? Parking.
It's the police.
Oh yeah, police.
I mean, I'm just thinking that, because I don't think they give it any thought, and we could be usefully speak to whoever's deputy right now, but start saying, hey, this is a problem,
Mhm.
as an awareness.
Right.
I can kind of guess what they'll say. And we could even do some publicity, like if you see somebody, there'll be a snitch, but this is where you phone, and this is, I mean, if we're really lucky, they would give us a verbal commitment to respond
Right.
that day rather than next week, but
I will say in the past, so next month, I want to start posting the snow removal video that we made, the PSA, but we were talking about updating it, and then we had all these plans, and then you came on and nobody told you about any of the plans. So that's not great. Because Jeff Brown, you submitted some pictures, right, that were of the snow, and we were supposed to put it all together. I don't even know. Easthampton Media, right?
Yep.
Am I forgetting anything, folks? No.
Can't think of anything.
Okay. All right. So meeting adjourns. It's 11:52.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.